Hi, my name is Suzanne Bernier Robinson. Welcome to Derry Community Television. Today we have a couple of special guests here to talk about the Police Department Summer Blood Drive and Cookout. Let me introduce our guests. I have Paul Bergeron, who's a field representative of American Red Cross Blood Services.
Thank you
Welcome,
for having
Paul.
us.
And I have Kelsey Ferdinando, who is Miss Lake Sunapee Region, and also a teacher at Gilbert Hood Middle School, and a loyal advocate for the American Red Cross Blood Services.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. Paul, why don't you just start out and tell us when is the blood drive, where is the blood drive, give us those details.
Okay, we're having our summer blood drive with the Derry Police Department. It's on Wednesday, June 25 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's at Promises to Keep on Rockingham Road in Derry.
Great. How many years has the police department been sponsoring that
No
drive?
one really knows, actually.
Really?
It started as a holiday drive, and there was an Officer Bob. A lot of people from Derry would know Officer Bob. It was around forever. And he organized the drive, and it was originally held around Christmas time, around Christmas Eve, and he was organizing the drive for many, many years. And no one knew exactly when it started. So it's well over 20 years that
So the holiday drive, they also have a winter blood drive.
They do. They do. Yep. They had a holiday drive in Christmas Eve, and then when they had the ice storm a few years ago in Derry, it actually got moved to January. Donors liked it a lot better. And then we do a summertime drive, which is this drive coming up. So the Derry Police do two drives: a summer and a winter drive.
Okay. And do you know what inspired them to maybe start these blood drives?
There was somebody in Derry that had needed some blood, and so it originally had started as a dedicated drive to that particular person, and it carried on from there. So, and it's one of the most successful large blood drives in the country.
Oh, in the country.
Yeah, yeah. We've collected up to, it's not quite as big now because we have more blood drives in the area, but we've collected as much as 430 pints at this particular blood drive.
Wow.
So
It keeps you really busy.
yeah, that year it was actually the 60th largest blood drive in the country, which is pretty impressive for New Hampshire, being there, having a blood drive that large.
So why is it scheduled in the beginning of the summer?
As we approach summer, they have Red Cross currently has a campaign right now. It's called the 100 Days of Summer. And they call it from Memorial Day, which most people look at as the kickoff of summer, until September 1st. In those particular months, June, July, and August, are very hard to collect blood. Most of our high schools obviously are not running their high school drives. Our colleges aren't running their drives. And then it's just vacation time.
Okay.
So we run these drives. This particular drive will help us, if all goes well, carry us through like the 4th of July holiday when people will be on vacation.
Do you find even having it in June is difficult to get people?
Well, this particular drive is nice because most people haven't gone away yet. You know, the kids are probably, especially with the winter we had, the school years are running a little bit longer. So a lot of people are still around. So that's why we kind of run it, you know, on this date on late June. And, but we have a lot of giveaways. It's a lot of fun. So it's kind of become people's annual beginning of summer event, and, you know, to come donate blood.
So what is your goal this year?
275. So it's still a very impressive goal.
That's
our average blood drive does 40 pints of blood. So 275 pints is a lot of blood.
Well, you didn't tell me the hours. So in 275 pints of blood, in how many hours?
We're going to run it 7 hours, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
11 to 6. Okay, so that's quite, is that going to be a steady flow of people coming in?
Oh, yes, yeah. It's always busy.
Not any lulls.
It's always, well, we hope there's no lulls, because you can't have lulls, because that's a lot of blood. The first couple hours are busy, so I say to folks, we always encourage people to schedule an appointment, especially if you're going to come at the beginning of the drive. You know, but after, like, between 1 and 3 o'clock, we do always get a lull, so if you're just going to walk in and you can't make an appointment, that'd be the time to come. But anytime, if you go to 1-800-RED-CROSS or redcrossblood.org, the best thing, if you can, is to schedule an appointment. But we'll have so many staff there that will be able to take walk-ins also.
So the phone number they can call to schedule an appointment
is the 1-800-RED-CROSS.
And then the website is for them to maybe go and sign up for an appointment?
Yeah, if they go to redcrossblood.org, and then it'd have just put in the zip code for Derry, and Promises to Keep drive will pop up.
Oh, great. Okay, and then they can just see what time slots are available?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. So, Kelsey, Miss Lake Sunapee region. I'm assuming that your platform is maybe a blood services or?
Yes, it is. It's changing lives, donating blood and bone marrow. So I work directly with the Red Cross as well as DKMS America's Bone Marrow Drive. And Paul and I have kind of been buddies working on blood drives in the area and making bone marrow part of the blood drives for the last 3 years?
At least,
maybe 4.
Yeah, probably 4 now.
It's kind of been a while.
Was there some particular instance that motivated you to pick that for a platform?
When deciding what platform I wanted to use my year of service, I flip-flop between a lot of things. My sister's diabetic, my aunt passed away from breast cancer, and I found the one thing that everyone needs is blood and possibly bone marrow. So I found that it was a way that I could save the most lives and impact the most people, because you never know when you might need blood. It could be a car accident. It could be when you go in for a surgery that seems small, but something happens. The teacher I went in for maternity leave actually needed 4 pints of blood when giving birth, and that was completely unexpected. So there was nothing that was a set time that made me want to be involved, but the fact that it could happen to someone I know or love is the reason why I decided to take it in as my year. And I've heard of a lot of stories since then, and a lot of people who have needed it, and it just really fuels that eagerness to continue and to continue saving lives and promoting it.
It's a very worthy cause.
It is, yes.
So you're also a teacher at the local middle school.
Yes.
Do you coordinate any blood drives at the school or motivate the teachers to support the blood drives locally?
Well, Gilbert H. Hood has 2 blood drives a year, which they had one in the fall and then one in the spring. I donated at both, and I did bone marrow at one of them and registered a few teachers there. But they already have their connections pretty solid. They've been doing it twice a year for a while. So as I'm moving and getting a full contracted position at hopefully another school, I'm hoping that I will become the connection, the representative. I've used some times to get into high schools and speak to them about upcoming drives and really talk to the students, if it's in the high school level or college, about the importance, as well as motivate the teachers too. And a few people from Wyndham came to my blood drive that was in Derry in February and donated. A few of the 16-year-old newbies, as I call them, donated for the first time.
16, I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
they can donate
now.
at 16 now.
With parental consent at 16.
I keep forgetting that because I was thinking it was 18, but at 16 now.
16,
You can do it at 17. You know, by law, by New Hampshire state law, and then they passed it where it's 16 with parental permission. So for us, that's excellent, especially when we go into the high schools.
Yeah, and the high schools have been awesome. Going in and speaking with the students and sharing stories is what I did last time with that PowerPoint. And some of you know, the freshmen said, "Can I?" And I'm like, "No, you can't. You have to wait 2 more years. I'm sorry," but they're really eager, which is great.
Well, it's a nice way to give back to the community. It's hard, you know, the time commitment certainly is manageable. It's not a weekly thing or a monthly commitment that a student that has a full load of academic classes and sports after school. It's hard for them to do community service work. But this to me is just a real simple, maybe hour, 2-hour time slot of being able to give back to the community and to kind of encourage their friends too. So it's I can see how they would rally together. Maybe a group of them would show up and all of a sudden you're saying, why didn't you book appointments? Because you've got 12 friends that have decided. But yeah, it's kind of like a bonding thing for those high school kids.
It was for me. I first donated at Pinkerton Academy's blood drive when I was 17, because at the time it was 17 years of age with parental consent, and my birthday was that week. And I said yes, turned 17, and I donated, and a lot of my friends did, and it was that moment there where I said, wow, I just saved someone's life with this little pint of blood. And after that I was hooked. So definitely the high school drives and doing it for the first time definitely becomes that motivation.
Right, and it's something that you do for life that really becomes I guess a
routine, almost, for me, every
now,
56 days.
Talking with you in the past, one point actually say it can save 3 lives. Is that right?
It can save up to 3 lives. Yeah, absolutely. So it's very important. I mean, we do need the blood. That's just the bottom line, and especially in the summertime as we go in. So it's so important to get people to come out, and we're so thankful for all the help we've gotten from Kelsey, received from her in the last few years, and we have become buddies. So people do see us all over the place.
Great.
And the first time she came in, said that was going to be her platform, and then she it's continued with us, and it's just been great. And it's been great as we go into the schools. So it's not just like somebody like myself coming in with my tie on and saying to the students,
I can see
we
how
really
the
would love you to
students
come out and donate. And she's got a great story, and it's a great mission and very uplifting. And then her work with the bone marrow, she's done so much work with Save Giovanni's Friends and DKMS America, and it's just good. It's a good thing, and it inspires us too. So it's great stories to hear, and we do need to get new donors. So that's a great thing.
Right, right. And you're also a local resident too,
I am.
Kelsey? Okay.
3rd generation on both sides of the family from Derry. So extremely local.
That's nice. So I bet you have a number of family members and friends that you have gotten into this process of donating on a regular basis.
Oh, definitely. My mom used to donate, and that's how I used to go with her. And then she took a little time off after she didn't eat a proper breakfast, and was not feeling well after one donation. And then when I started working with Paul and the Red Cross again, she started donating again. So it was also nice for her to see me being involved in doing it again. And my sister actually is now slightly addicted to donating. She asked me the other day if she'd be able to donate again. She's like, has it been 56 days? And I went through my calendar and checked for her. And so she's now on the donating trend too.
Oh, great. So it's 56 days before donations?
In between donations.
In between donations, 56 days.
Yep. So you can donate every 8 weeks. Our average donor, though, donates 2.1 times per year, so you really could do it 6 times per year, and that's kind of a lot. We have some regulars that will donate every 8 weeks, and we count on those, and we're so fortunate to have them. But that's why one of the reasons why we do special events and things is to get people, if we could get each person, if they donate once a year, to donate one more time, or twice to donate the 3rd time. We don't expect everybody to donate 6 times a year, but if you donate, like I say, if you never have, you're certainly more than welcome. But if you're donating once a year, just consider doing it one more time, and then we wouldn't have this great need.
Right, right. So you mentioned you can make an appointment, or you can call. Are walk-ins okay if someone decides spur of the moment, oh, you know what, I have the afternoon off now and I didn't think I was going to? Yeah,
we have a great setup at Promises to Keep because there's 2 function rooms. So one side is a walk-in side and one's an appointment side. And then based on the the flow of donors on that particular day, we can adjust and keep people moving from one side to the other. But the last few drives have run very, very smooth there. We've had no waits. It's a great community event because everybody's there. It's co-sponsored by the Derry Police Department and the Greater Derry Salvation Army, and we have a cookout, and we have hamburgers and hot dogs, and Clam Haven provides ice cream, and so we have T-shirts. So it's quite an event, and it's it's a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun with the mission to collect blood. So it shows that the process can be fun.
It sounds like there's a lot of incentives to get people to go.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The food is always good. To have that after you've donated, you do need to replenish. But there's always those little goodies that you have too. Yeah,
and it's kind of a who's who of Greater Derry, so you see a lot of the same people a couple times a year, and it's just nice to see people. It's a real community event. Like, people will stay, certainly you don't have to, but there's a lot of folks, will stay, and people will be there a couple hours sometimes just talking with friends and meeting with, other people that they know, so it's really good.
Well, it's a nice way to give back and support the police department. There's not many ways that we can really directly support them.
Absolutely.
But this is a way, if this is their drive, to be able to go out and show your support for the men and women that serve our community.
They do a great job, and they really give us a lot of support. The Derry Police and a lot of the officers and Chief Garone donate blood, and so they're not just lending their name to it. They actually do have an invested interest in it and value the work that the American Red Cross does. So many of them are donating on that particular day, on their days off, and coming in, and so we're very fortunate that this is the biggest police drive that we do in the state of New Hampshire, is in Derry. So
it says a lot. I think we've covered a lot. Is there anything we haven't talked about that maybe you wanted to mention?
Maybe a little bit on Kelsey's on the bone marrow side. That's not through the
sure.
American Red Cross, but we both have done quite a bit with that in the last few years also, and that's something that Kelsey's done a lot with.
So is that coordinated with the blood drive as an option? That do you want to be a bone marrow donor, or how does that work?
We've kind of taken it upon ourselves to coordinate a lot of the drives that Paul's in charge of with the bone marrow, because to me, blood and bone marrow go hand in hand. If you are a good blood donor when it comes to requirements and eligibility, you most likely are eligible to donate bone marrow. And a lot of times if someone needs bone marrow, they're receiving blood and having blood to support whatever medical need they need the bone marrow for. So I try and go to a lot of blood drives, or Michael Guglielmi, who was the representative for New England, would show up. And Paul has kind of been that connecting factor for us. It was my mission to connect the Red Cross and DKMS Americas so that we could have one event where people can go and donate blood, and then they can learn about bone marrow and they can sign up. Because once you sign up once for bone marrow, you're on until your 61st birthday unless you need to be removed for anything. So it takes 5 minutes to sign up and have a cheek swab, and it's so convenient to set up a table at a blood drive where people are already going to give.
Okay. It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
5 minutes, you fill out
some paperwork, you get a cheek swab.
Yep, one-sided form of paperwork. There's no dollar amount, no insurance information taken at all. It's fully funded through the nonprofit organization of DKMS America's Bone Marrow Registry. And you swab your cheeks, both sides. We send it off for testing for your HLA samples, and that's it.
And that's enough.
Yeah.
And you can possibly save someone's life. I mean, the odd of being a match is 1 in 20,000. So there are people out there who need matches, and really there are many chronic diseases that can lead to bone marrow transplants that go hand in hand with those that are blood recipients. So it's something that we feel, and Paul has been very passionate about bone marrow along with his services for the Red Cross, that we feel it's a good way to bring them together and ultimately help save more people.
So tell me the ages. Is it the same restriction?
No, it's not. It's 18.
It is 18.
18 to 55 is how DKMS has their sign up. However, if you are over 55, you can sign up through Be the Match, because they will accept people until they are 60. Because DKMS is a lower profit organization, we don't have as much funding. To have someone join for only a year or two, it's a lot of testing and a lot of funds. And if you're over 55, you're only on until your 61st birthday. So they have the cutoff at 55. So 18 to 55, in good health. Tattoos don't matter, piercings don't matter for bone marrow like they do for blood. So there are a few differences, but a lot of people that are eligible for blood are great candidates for bone marrow.
And it's a one-time testing.
Yes.
And they're in the registry till their
61st birthday, unless they need to be removed, in which they can always remove themselves for some reason if they need to call or something happens. Yep. And then if they ever were to match someone, which is a miracle, I keep crossing my fingers, but no one wants my bone marrow yet, I guess. But if they were to match, then they would then go through additional paperwork and a full physical, in which we pay all the expenses for, to make sure that they are in the prime health that's needed for them to go through with donating. And most donations are done through a blood donation now anyways, through a stem cell donation. So the processes are very similar. If someone's willing to donate a pint of blood, bone marrow is now a stem cell donation where they extract the blood and extract the stem cells from that and give you your blood back. So it's a very similar process. So we're hoping that if people have it in them to go donate blood, they'll hopefully also have it in them to help save lives through bone marrow.
Yeah, and we actually have had, we did have a match a few years ago now that came from the Derry police, so we were notified that we had a match, and, and the person had donated. I got into the registry at the Derry Police Department.
That was probably one of the first ones that we joined up together.
So it's exciting. Yeah.
It is. Are there any restrictions that if someone wants to come and just do the bone marrow, registry because for some reason they can't donate the blood. They can just come in and do that.
Yeah, there's never been any type of...
They can do one or the other or both, you know, because once you're in the registry, as Kelsey said, you're in. So,
that's right.
But if somebody would come and just says, I'm not eligible to donate blood, but I do hear that you have in this event, but I'm not in the bone registry, they're watching this today, and they say, oh, well, geez, because it's not always as easy, or, you know, we're doing a lot of blood drives in the area. You can find a blood drive. You can't always find a bone marrow drive. So if you want to just stop over to do that, you're more than welcome.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So.
Well, give us the day, time, location again.
All right, yeah, we're excited. So it's Wednesday, June 25 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Promises to Keep, 199 Rockingham Road in Derry, and 1-800-RED CROSS to call and schedule an appointment, or redcrossblood.org. So we have a goal of 275, and so we need lots of appointments.
Good, good. And you'll have a lot of food at the cookout.
And we're going to have a lot of food at the cookout.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having me.
I hope you've learned a lot about the police summer blood drive that is going on at Promises to Keep a little later this month. Once again, my name is Suzanne Bernier Robinson. Thank you for watching Derry Community Television.